Okay, so let me ask you this. Anybody think this is cost effective or it's going to cost a fortune?
Isn't it free? I mean, unless
You
you're
can set up your own account for
if you're
free.
doing it yourself, you can do it for free.
For free. It's got a freemium price. Zero. Okay, so you can do it yourself. Now, you and I guys know that there's a million things to it.
Got to pay yourself.
Yeah, because time and money is two things, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
And you know what happens is I think you know, let's just be honest. A older group like us, you know, and Claude might be a young man, I don't know, so I'm not going to insult him, but the rest of you guys, I know you well. Okay, and you know, you ain't much younger. Brandon about the youngest of the bunch. And the fact of the matter is, a lot of older clients are not really wanting to learn all of these technical things, truthfully. When people ask me what I do, and they see how old I am, and then I say what I'm doing, they're like, dude, you know anything about the internet? I'm like, I might know a little about it, because people our age traditionally are involved in other things and not these technical aspects of the internet. So they don't want to do it and they don't know about it. But younger people, I mean, if you're into it, you could do it. But then we always go back to, if you're doing that, what are you not doing? Are you not getting more business into your firm when you're tied up in those things? So I don't really think you should, but it is free. But there are a lot of things that you can do that aren't expensive. How much does it cost to write a heartfelt response to a review? You already got the photos anyway. And wouldn't you geotag the photos there while you're doing those and then get them on the account? Okay, so you can write a blog post, and if you just wrote one a month, you'd be better than everybody else. Okay, you can answer questions, you could set it up, you could have great pictures, you could do all of these things. You could ask your clients for a review and just ask them to answer these 3 questions. So does anybody get video reviews? Anybody getting video reviews?
Not at the moment, no.
Same thing. You know what happens is, you know what the big reluctance to video reviews is? People don't know what to say. It's not that they don't look nice on camera, but they'll tell you that, oh, my hair ain't looking right. I don't think I didn't wear the right clothes, this, that, and the other. But really what they're telling you is they don't know what to say. So when you give them the little 3 things, here's what all I want you to do is, just like we're having a conversation today. I got this little old phone, we're just going to take it. And you know, what happens is you're going to look at it. If you like it, we'll go with it. But, you know, why did you choose us? And, you know, what was your experience with us today? And would you refer us to your friends and family? They can have a little outline, man. And I'm telling you, once they understand what they need to say, they're really great. They're really happy to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's just a matter of setting it up. And you know what I always do, you know, at the end of the inspection or whenever I'm going to do it, I try to keep them going on a little bit. But at the end of the inspection, I said, did I do okay? What did you guys think? Was I okay and provided you what you needed today and what you expected? Sure did, Ken. And they'll start ranting and raving. I'll say, you know what? I'd love for more customers to have the experience you've had today. But you know what? When I say it, they don't really believe it. But if you would help me by saying it, then guess what? They'd believe it. And then I could provide great service to your friends and family and other neighbors. And when you say it to them that way, that it really helps you grow your business, you can provide your great quality service to others, people are more likely to provide you with a review. They're a lot more likely to do it. Now, should you get the review right there on site?
And geotag it, right?
You could. But, you know, let's look at a traditional inspection. The realtor's there, the family's there, everybody's there. Is that really the right way to do it? I think that you should, on the back of your business card, if you don't have anything else but the white space, which is a waste of your dollars for marketing, I would have a link that please share your wonderful comments on Google My Business, and give them a link, ratejohn.com. Okay, whatever the URL is, super simple, super simple. You flip that business card over and say, you know, I know you've shared with me a lot of wonderful things, and it would really be beneficial to both myself and my family if you would provide those kind of words here. And I know you're busy, so I've tried to make it easy. Here's a link. And then you send them a link in the email follow-up. Okay, but if you make it personal and then you give them an easy way to do it, don't make them work. Okay, they'll type that link in and boom, give you a review. More than likely. Okay. So some people need a little follow-up. Some people intend to review. They send me an email. I mark it. I'm going to come back to it. And I never do. They send me a second email and I said, you know what? I got a second and I'm going to do it right now. Okay. So that is the way you can get more reviews too. Be heartfelt about it. Ask the right questions. So it's cost effective to do it. You reach a lot wider audience. Okay.
But if we give out the Google website directly, we're kind of bypassing the reputation management, aren't we?
Mhm. You are. You're bypassing, and some people won't do it. Some people go straight to the link. But you know what happened in the old days, and Beth, I don't think this is true now. We don't have an API for Google directly, do we? Or do we? Yeah, they changed it. So what happens is to get a Google review, you have to have the customer go directly there.
Right.
Okay. And still we get reviews all the time for you guys on the review system, and we take those and put them other places that we do have API codes.
Right.
Okay, but Google has stopped that. So I need you to have Google reviews.
And,
Okay.
and one of the nice things about your custom review page is you get a lot of a boost from using it. Number one, you got the link in your ISN thank you email that links them there, so you get a hit to your website. They're on your page, leaving a review on your custom review page, so there's time on page. You actually secure that review. It's not on Google, but you got a review, and once they press submit, they get the option to go to Google, click it right there. But if they don't have a Google account, you at least captured that review. If they don't have a Google account, even if you send them a Google review, they're not going to leave you one there because they don't have a Google account. So
But I think that's the main reason that I don't give the Google link out directly, is I want them to go through the reputation management process.
And that's the way it should go. But one of the nice things, you know, with what Kim was talking about is after a few days or whatever, if you don't see it on Google, you might want to send them maybe a text or something like that. That's
Gotcha.
a manual follow-up more than likely. That's if you just notice they're not on, they didn't leave a Google review. But capture a review is a big thing.
I'm not saying don't use reputation management system, but I'm saying you guys already told me in this discussion that the number of reviews on Google matters.
I agree.
Okay, and so we have got to get some directly on Google. So the customers that might be super happy, maybe every other customer, you give them the direct link. So they go there. Okay, because the value of the reputation management system is 2 or 3-fold. If it's a negative review, we can stop it. Okay, that's good. But if it's a positive review, we can put it other places. Like Beth said, there's a lot of ranking factors that you get by going on there. And there's a lot of other places we need to share that SEO love, not just on Google. So by having API codes and being able to place these reviews around the internet, that really does help. But I'd use some of them. I'd drive some of those that I know were happy, they're going to give me 5-star reviews. I'd drive them straight to Google.
Gotcha.
Okay, because I got to have you showing up there with a bunch of reviews. And, you know, once you get above 30, 40, 50, people start looking. Now, if you got somebody that's got 10,000 and you got somebody that's got 50, you know, you're going to have a little bit more difficulty. But if your profile is way better, you know, what happens, you might be able to, you know, sway them when you come there. Or maybe they call 2 or 3 people and you can convert them. So so that really works. Because a lot
I
of
have
people
one more
know
thing
Home
to say about
Inspectors
this before we leave.
very greatly. Okay.
Okay, real quickly. So one of the other things about Google or about your custom review page, and even about just sending them directly to Google, you got to educate them a little bit. Okay, you got to say, just like Ken said earlier, I'd really like to see your review on my Google business profile. I'm going to send you a link to my custom review page. You can leave me a review there telling me how I did, but also I make it real easy for you to go right to Google and leave it. So you got to educate them a little bit, talk to them and let them know what you're going to do. Then when they get that email with that link in, they'll go, oh yeah, John mentioned that he wanted me to leave a review and he did such a great job. I'm going to do that for him. Just like Ken said about the window washer yesterday. He's going to leave a review because the guy did a great job.
So
He's waiting for me to give him the review link.
do people need to have a Gmail address in order to leave a review?
A Google account.
Google review?
Yes.
If they don't have a Google account, they can't do it.
Gotcha.
So I would send some there, some to the review page. Certainly the ones that you're uncertain about, the review page, but some of those have got to go directly to Google. When we had an API code with Google, then we could send them there, but no reputation management company like ours has an API. Google just eliminated that completely. So, and I get it. I do get it. You know, spammers are doing the wrong thing, this, that, and the other. We weren't, but others were. So I get it. So one of the highest ROIs that you can have is on Google Business Profile. So, I mean, we already talked about all the advantages. So, and we already talked about if we're doing it for you, there's a lot of things that you can do to help us help you more. Okay, geotagging your photos, not just the photos you're going to put on your profile, but all of these things. We need SEO love. Instagram, you can do those as well, and we'll get SEO love. So, but making your Google Business Profile very complete, and that's it. Beth, if you'll just make a note, what I'll do is write some procedures for what our clients can do to help us help them. I'll try to get that done tomorrow. I'm not going to be at the gun range tomorrow, but over the weekend I'll try to do it. So I'll write you some procedures on it, things that you need to do, and kind of give you a summary of what we talked about. And if you're doing them already, then you just ignore it. But if you're not doing them already, it'll give you an opportunity to take advantage of those and try to do it. And I will tell you, search is down. The number of people searching on the internet for a home inspector in your area is less today than it's been since I've ever seen it. And interest rates are what they are. Yeah. And money's hard to get, even if your interest rate is high. So you have a super qualification process because the banks think we're going into a recession. They need to protect their investment. Okay. And so there's still in some markets inventory shortages. And the fact of the matter is that prices are pretty high. I mean, if you go to a different market, you'll see 2.6 annual increase, and you'll see this, that, and the other. Brandon, don't be late for your thing now. So, because I see it's 8:15, but there's a lot of factors that are going against us. Okay, so that's that. However, I'm going to tell you one other thing that's really going for you. You're on this call, and we're talking about Sitzer Burnett, and Brandon said it today. So many of the agents the inspectors don't even know what that means. Okay, so the fact of the matter is, you're going to be working on right now replacing units that you might get from real estate agents, buyer's agents. Okay, so the fact of the matter is, when they hit hard times and maybe won't be around anymore, you've already thought through this and have worked to replace those units. Okay, so we've been talking about different strategies each week, and in Home Inspector Help, we've got new training all on there, and we've got more going on there about things you can do. And if you have a staff, we can train them to do these things. But the real estate agents, the way we know it, are going away. The market disruption is going to be huge. I'm not got a crystal ball, but if I see how this is going, I can see home buyers are not going to sign that buyer's agreement because they don't know this person, they have no relationship with them, and they're going to take an extended contract with them. They're not going to pay their own commission. Does anybody on this call think real estate buyers are going to pay the buyer's agent the commission out of their pocket? I mean, that's not realistic, is it?
No, and as I understand it, they can't finance it.
They can't. They cannot finance it. Okay, so that's the thing. So they're not going to do it. So if the home buyer will not take the contract and they have no commission, why would the buyer's agent be hanging around? They're going. Okay, so then that leaves us with the listing agents. So what's the listing agent's new role? Okay, dual agency, that's fraught with legal issues. Okay, and so many brokers are saying dual agency is not the answer. Okay, so maybe some listing agents have buyer's agents on their team, just like they do now. Okay, but guess what? When they had that situation before, they were earning 6%, right? Okay, now the seller said, oh no, I'm paying 3%. I ain't paying for that buyer's agent. So now they have that whole operation and half the revenue. You see what I'm saying? Okay, because they were earning 6% with the buyer's agent and the selling agent all on one team. Okay, so that revenue was there to cover all of those expenses, pay those commissions, overhead, all those things. But now the seller says, I ain't paying that 3% for the buyers. So now the real estate agent, a listing agent's got all those expenses, but only 3% of the commish. Okay, so then I said earlier, Brandon's going to come in, does a great presentation, 3%. I come in, do a great presentation, equally as good, 2%. And John, you come in at 1%, and Claude comes in for $564 because he's got a company that does a flat fee, and they're huge and they're getting bigger. Okay, so what's going to happen? So we're in the middle, we're in the beginning of a market disruption of the real estate industry, and everybody that's honest will tell you the truth. That's where it's going. Some variation of that. You're going to see new services pop up. You're going to see people offering a la carte services. You already see it with with the for sale by owner companies, the full service listing. We got a full service listing, everything a real estate agent offered for $500. The photos, the lockbox key, the software to schedule, everything we got for $500. We've done it twice. It's been hugely successful. Okay, so why am I paying them my money when I can go this way? So will closing attorneys take on some different ones? You know what happens is Flat Fee Realty here in Tampa, Florida, has a lawyer. Not only will they close it, but they'll negotiate the contract for you. Okay, I mean, you're going to see a hybrid of everything. Amazon is in the real estate business. Zillow. Now, if you have a vacant home, they do a soft credit check on you. They give you a code. You go in and show the house yourself if it's vacant. A self-guided tour, John, right through your home that's empty. Makes sense to me. Okay, you know what happens? Beth and I did in a sale. We paid a guy that wasn't a real estate agent $110, just go in there and sit there for 2 hours for an open house. Just pass out the flyers. We're in the beginning of a market disruption. And the reason we're having these talks is because what I want you to do is get it and let's get on and just become an exceptional marketer and forget that. Who cares what they do? All we care about is what we're going to do.
I think the agents are still clueless.
A lot of them are.
I've been on a couple of jobs in the last week where I've asked them, so how's this going to affect you? And they say, it's not going to, everybody's going to be the same. It's just if the seller doesn't want to pay our commission, we're not going to show their house, so they're going to pay it.
Oops. There was the antitrust lawsuit. That was the basis of the lawsuit right there.
Yeah.
That's the antitrust violation, and they got fined $1.8 billion. And because it was antitrust, there's treble damages, which is 3 times the original judgment, just for what you said right there.
Yep.
If they're not paying a commission or they're paying a lower commission, we ain't showing it.
Right.
That's what it was right there. That was the crux. You could have never said anything better.
2 or 3 agents have said the same thing.
Yeah.
We just can't. What they said is they just can't list it on MLS anymore. But they're now. One agent told me today they're going to post the commission on the signs on the street.
Okay, so they can post the commissions anywhere they want. The issue is if the buyer's agent refuses to show that property because there's no commission or reduced commission, they're in violation of federal law.
Right.
Okay, and that's going to come up. Brad and I heard one the other day that said, we're just going to get a website and we're going to post all these homes, and the commission will show what the buyer's getting and the seller's getting, and then you decide whether you're going to show it or not. That's the crux of the matter. Okay, when home sellers, Beth and I, through for sale by owner, not for sale by owner, flat fee, they required us by contract, which that's gone off their contract now, 2% to the listing agent, to the buyer's agent. And you know what? The guy came in, he was, had a buyer and all that, and he sold the deal. And you know what he said? I'm insulted. This is the least amount of commission I've ever had to work for in my career. And I'm thinking, I don't give a shit if you're insulted or not. I didn't want to pay you a damn nickel, truth be told. But I was courteous and said, I understand that, but this is a new reality right here, friend. So, but now, see, he wouldn't have shown that if he didn't have a cash buyer in his hand. Okay, and he wouldn't have shown it. But that's what happens when there was a reduced commission, they wouldn't show it. And that's unfair. That's not right. And they colluded to do it. So, and they got found guilty. They ain't found guilty by Ken Compton. They found guilty by the federal courts. So that's what the whole thing is about. So we'll see how it works out.